In July 2024, 5 students came together to tell stories of their connection to Heart Mountain. Japanese American and Indigenous youth explored their heritage and collaborated on this powerful short film. The cross-cultural digital storytelling workshop, made possible by Wyoming Humanities, bridges diverse communities, revealing profound bonds between cultures, American history, and the land.
When I'm playing music with my dad, I feel loving.
Listening to the music was really great. Even though I couldn't understand what they were saying, it brought up a lot of emotion.
I think that's why music is so important to my people, is because it brings us together. And if you really think about it, music is a universal language.
They have a huge connection to their songs, and they have a lot of history. It's just seeing them express themselves in that way and being able to share this experience with us. I thought it was really moving.
I want them to feel peace and love. Those are the 2 combinations that will honestly set you free. And to me, that's what it is, love and peace.
So my grandpa was incarcerated back in 1942 with his family. His dad had to sell the farm back then and all their belongings. My mom brought me in 2019 for the first time, and I felt really connected to the land because I was able to see what my grandpa saw. I'm like, at least I got this view every day, of Heart Mountain.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you knew about the name that is inscribed on the side of the honor roll.
My grandpa, when he was 11, engraved his name, Makoto, and then his last name, Oka, on the side of the honor roll. He was a rascal, and he got away with it too. He's another part of the camp that endured. When he left the camp and turned 18, he joined the army, serving the same country that oppressed him.
My great aunt was interned here during World War II. She never had children, never married, and I think a lot about that. It's easier to track lineages through birth and direct descendants, but it really matters to me to keep her story alive in a larger emblematic sense of all the people who don't get their stories told. My sister and I first came to Heart Mountain in 2022 for the pilgrimage with our grandmother, and it was the first time we had really experienced the Japanese American community on that scale, and we were just struck by the stories that we heard. So we created a magazine called Kyoku magazine. Kyoku means memory, because we wanted to create a Japanese American cultural scrapbook of sorts, or memory bank, and preserve some facet of the community that was so transformative for us.
Before I came to Heart Mountain, I hadn't really heard much about my family's experience there, but I sort of figured that it may have been an area of contention or animosity. My grandma was incarcerated here as a baby. She just came back maybe a few years ago, and by coming here, she was able to learn more about what had happened here and how her family survived here. Especially as a Black American too. I thought it would be hard to kind of find my footing here, or just wondering if I would belong. But luckily we've been welcomed with open arms and everything. I love my grandma, and any way I can help carry along her legacy and her family's legacy is really important to me.
You know, Heart Mountain, it's kind of like, yeah, like it's right there. It's in the name, Heart. It's like kind of like the heart and soul of like the Crow Reservation. Like, you know, being up there, hearing those stories, learning what I learned from my grandpa. My grandpa, you know, his name's Grambuta, and his Indian name is Sits Among the Buffalo. I always want to be able to make him proud and make myself proud at the same time. This land, it's been through a lot, especially around here with it being an old concentration camp. Like, I feel I have that remorse for the Japanese, and I do, because they did not deserve that. And it's also like a place for us Crows, you know, like we look at it like as a good place for us, but there's so much energy here, good and bad, but all that bad, you know, we can all use it. We can use it to better ourselves as people, as who we are.
My connection to the sacred land is through one of my great grandpas, I'd say. His name was Chief Grable, and he was probably one of the greatest chiefs to ever live. So all out through this land was his. He took care of it, he protected it, and that's why it holds a big importance to me, is because I knew maybe 100 years ago that he was here and he was walking this land, and he was probably mesmerized by it the way I am. It's like a second home, I'd say. It's peaceful out here. If anything, I feel love from that mountain. It's like being called back home. It's like a yearning I have in my heart to go up that mountain and pray and to call out to the God to see why am I here? You know, what's the purpose of this?
I think it's been an amazing opportunity getting to learn more about these Native American people, and it's been an honor to meet Silas and Johnny. I think I've learned more about their connection to the land and how it goes back even longer than Japanese internment, obviously, and then how they've cultivated stories and traditions here, and how this land is sacred to them, too.
The perspective I gained from it was kind of like a same struggle. It brought me like closer to them, because I realized that we fought to like even be recognized, you know, like we went to war the same way the Japanese Americans went to war. And I bet you some told them, you know, don't go to war. Why are you fighting for a country that doesn't treat you the way you should be treated? But I think it's the hope that both sides have, because when you're that pushed down, all you have is hope.
It's given such a deeper meaning, a richness of meaning, to get to talk to Johnny and Silas. I feel like as I talk to them and I hear about like the Crow history and just the very rich history of the region that I really barely knew anything about before, it's just filling out this whole deeper layer of meaning to coming here.
They were mistreated here, and the things that were done here, it wasn't right. It wasn't humane. It was cruel. That's why I respect them, because they do. They pretty much went through something similar, like with us natives. Being able to learn that history, it does. It really opens your eyes. It shows you how real the world is.
It's also a very special place to the Native Americans here, and it's like their sacred land. Not only did America kind of do dirty by them again by intruding on their land, but they also intruded unwanted guests on their land for a number of years, which is unfair to them as well.
What I thought was, how did they feel when they looked at the mountain? I wonder if when they were beaten down and all that, like when they looked at the mountain, like what was it actually to them? Like, what did they think in their head? Because to me, I think of that heart. I think of a heart. And to me, the heart can be corrupted or it can grow. And to me, when I look at that mountain over there, it makes my heart want to grow. It makes me want to get closer with people. And not only that, get closer to the one who made me.
And Heart Mountain, that's what a lot of incarcerees said, is that they felt it kept them safe in this like totally, foreign place, desolate. They have the mountain, and maybe for some it was intimidating, but I don't get that sense from it. I do feel the sort of comforting. It doesn't feel like it's looming. It feels like it's watching over the camp. To hear that, I guess, sort of explained or justified in the Crow tradition is almost like validating, to say like, okay, my ancestors were being watched over. They weren't just totally forlorn out in this land. They had something, and that was the mountain.
It's interesting, like kind of seeing the mountain in another light, maybe in a more positive light than negative. It's kind of an interesting duality that the mountain has. Getting to find those parallels has been really amazing.
I want to be able to come to Heart Mountain and, feel good about it. And, I can admit, sometimes when I do look at this concentration camp, I do get those bad vibes, but, I pray. I pray for them. I pray for the lost souls that are still here. I pray for the people that went through it. And I even pray for myself for being here, because I know this is sacred land for pretty much both us Crows and the Japanese.